Hello, I'm reading Evie. What are you doing? Today I am going to talk about Lost. I finally finished. I finally finished the book. I haven't really been in a reading mood. That's why it is so long since my last video, or reading review, I should say. But I have notes on the book. Okay. I found it interesting how Anastasia, not to be confused with Anastasia Steele, that's a different book. How Anna is still alive in the OtherWorld series and has a raven, which I found ironic since since she was ignore my idiotic fiance back there.
What was that? You almost slipped up. You done messed up here,
Anyways.
Might as well just start over. I won't do it again.
No, it's fine. Anyways, I think it's just ironic how she has a pet raven since she was killed by a raven in the House of Night series. So I just thought that was interesting. My second thought is Dragon is pretty much the same, especially how he acted after Anna's death in Z's world. I also put, because this was like in the beginning, or does he? He still kind of does. Anna like pretty much kind of holds him back a little, like not holds him back, but like brings him back. So there's that. But he is still kind of just an ass. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but Sioras died and loved the Queen Sayak from the Sky of Isle, I think it was called, and when Zoe went to the sky or the island or whatever it's called, she met Sayak, who is the queen of the world or whatever. Not the world, but the island. And then I think her warrior is, it's like Seoras. But anyways, so in Loved, the white bull attacked on the night they trapped Nefret. Apparently it killed him, and I didn't know that, or it may just not have been mentioned until this book. But it was super sad because they were together for like, I think, centuries or something like that, a really long time. It's funny how like the sprites accepted a cookie as payment. We meet something called Sprite. Well, we met them in the House of Night series, vaguely. They were mentioned when she was on the Isle of Sky. I think that's what it's called, actually, not the Sky of Isle, but like they were very serious about payment, and he was like, Kevin was like, I have this lavender cookie that my grandma made, and they were like, oh yes, they just ate it right up. I thought that was just funny. Because like their other forms of payment were like blood and like serious stuff. It was just like, here's a cookie. I also in the beginning noted that the other Stark is kind of an asshole. I asked if he would change. He did. He didn't really have like a big like redemption or anything like that, but like he did kind of in the House of Night. But he wasn't too bad in the end. Oh, and then I noticed the other Kevin was asking too much of the sprites. Like he called on them a lot, which was dangerous, and which is why Zoe even went on to the other world, or into the other world, because he just kept on asking for things. And then I noted like other Aphrodite was just like Nefret so far. That changed quickly. It was kind of like how in House of Night Aphrodite was just a bitch. I mean, she still is, but she's nice also. So that was kind of just like that. She just hasn't had the chance to grow in that world yet until the end. But yeah, I was starting to dislike Stark because of his jealousy with Heath. Because before Zoe went to the other world, he was just like accusing her of going for Heath, and then that was it. And it was just ridiculous how he acted and childish. Since he died in her world, in their world, so like the jealousy is just very insecure. It just, I didn't like it. Eric has had character growth. Yeah, so he really has. Like, he used to just be. He wasn't really bad or good, he was just cowardly. But he's finally grew up. He finally grew up. And he's with Shawnee. I thought that was weird. I thought it was kind of weird that Zoe didn't want Stark to go to the other world because there's the other Stark, but yet other Zoe is dead. I get like probably not everyone knew. Well, not a lot of people knew other Zoe because her death was what caused the war. Because Nefret blamed it on some humans, but and like I got it because it was. They would have had to hide him and everything. So it was like, I get why she didn't want him there, but it was just like, her reasoning, it was like, oh, everyone will see Stark. It was like, they're all gonna see you too. And the other you is dead. That would raise questions. So it took forever for other Kevin to tell other Aphrodite about Darius, and I didn't like it. Just because in Zoe's world, Darius is Aphrodite's warrior, and Kevin just kind of made it seem like they had this thing going on, and I just didn't like it. I like other Kevin. It just I didn't like that he did that, because it really wasn't that serious. But and he finally told Aphrodite about Darius. And then I wrote Zoe doesn't like Dr. Pepper, which almost made me quit the book. Okay, not literally, but what Okie does not like Dr. Pepper? Dr. Pepper is the best. I want some now. He had some back there. I should steal his. I just thought it was an outrage that she doesn't like Dr. Pepper, and she lives in Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and does not like Dr. Pepper. I would get it if you don't like soda, or if you're I don't know, eating healthy or whatever crap. I don't eat healthy, I don't know. I would get that. But just not liking Dr. Pepper, but liking other brown soda, but Dr. Pepper? No. Outrage. And then, so that's my last thought? No. So Zoe, saw other Stark finally, and like the others, as I was calling them, they have like a connection to the people who in Zoe's world, like Stark and Zoe are together, of course. He's her warrior. So other Stark felt like a connection to Zoe, even though they didn't even know each other. Well, they met like once apparently before the other Zoe died. And then Darius, we finally saw other Darius. Not for long. We just know he was there. And he felt a connection towards other Aphrodite as she was dying, which I'll get to. That's my last note. But, and so it was just like, it made me wonder, because, it made me, or Zoe was talking about wanting to to kiss Other Stark. Not really about wanting to kiss him, but it was just like wanting to kiss her Stark. It just kind of made me think, like, would it be cheating to go after the others? I think it kind of would be. Because the way I see it, it's like twins, but more connected. I mean, I don't know how twins are connected, but that's just how I saw it. Because pretty much, like, in their souls, they're like the same people. Like Other Stark and ended up being good or okay. I mean, he follows Nitz, their goddess. And then Other Jack is pretty much the same as the one who died in the House of Night. But technically, they are different people. So that was just a random thought I had. And then, my last note, as I mentioned, Other Aphrodite died. It was kind of sad. Like, it wasn't too sad because I knew that we would go back to Zoe's world and she was alive. She died sacrificing everything again for the red vampires, as she did in Zoe's world. Whereas in Zoe's world, she lost her mark and became human with powers or whatever. They called her like prophetess. But she didn't die. And in fact, now, as I mentioned in Loved review, she has a blue and a red mark now, whereas Other Aphrodite just died. So I don't know if it was because the sprites had a part in this or what. But I don't know. But that was my thoughts on Lost. It wasn't too much thoughts. It was just, yeah. But now I will start Forgotten. Can't really see the title. You can see like that part. And I really just love this cover. Just because of how pretty it is. And how blue it is. Especially in that light. But that is the next book. I'll try to read this a little faster. So that way I can get a review out on it a little quicker. And then start on more books. But yeah, that was my review on Lost.